Are you diligently hitting the gym, meticulously tracking your protein intake, and still finding yourself staring in the mirror, wondering with a growing sense of frustration why the lean, strong muscle you are working so relentlessly for just isn't showing up, especially as the years begin to accumulate? You have been methodically following the rules, adhering to the conventional wisdom, and yet the results remain disappointingly elusive. The truth is, you've been told a lie, a pervasive and deeply ingrained misconception that has shaped the very foundation of modern health and fitness. For decades, the entire multi-billion-dollar fitness and health industry has pointed you towards one singular nutrient, one supposed panacea for all your strength-building aspirations, protein as the unequivocal holy grail of muscle growth. It is marketed in colossal tubs of powder, packed into dense, chalky bars, and celebrated as the ultimate anabolic trigger. But what if that is only a fraction of the story, a single, overemphasized chapter in a much larger, more complex biological narrative? What if the real key, the fundamental missing link that ultimately determines whether your body enters a state of anabolic repair and growth or continues its slow, inexorable slide towards frailty and withering, has been systematically overlooked, or worse, deliberately ignored? There is a profound secret hiding in plain sight, a foundational element your body is quite literally screaming for, a structural necessity that no amount of whey isolate, casein, or plant-based protein shakes can ever hope to replace. The problem is not merely about what you are eating, but what your body is critically and desperately missing. And even more shockingly, if you find yourself among the savvy and proactive, few who have already recognized the importance of collagen and begun to supplement with it, you might still be making a series of devastating, progress-nullifying mistakes, from choosing the wrong, poorly absorbed type, to unknowingly pairing it with common everyday foods that render its powerful amino acids completely biologically inert. Your best intentions could be leading you down a path of wasted effort and continued disappointment. Stay with me, because the information I am about to share is not merely an incremental improvement or a minor tweak to your existing regimen. In the next few minutes, you are going to discover the two most potent, scientifically validated liquid sources of this miracle nutrient on the entire planet, each one possessing up to 8 times the muscle rebuilding power of the standard bone broth you might find on a supermarket shelf. More importantly, and perhaps more urgently, you will learn about the 3 seemingly innocuous, everyday foods that are secretly and systematically sabotaging your efforts, turning your dedicated path to renewed strength into a frustrating and demoralizing dead end. This is not just another fleeting health tip to be consumed and forgotten. This is the critical, foundational information that could profoundly redefine your strength, your mobility, your resilience, and your very independence for the rest of your life. The pervasive myth that has taken root in our collective consciousness is that muscle is composed solely of protein, and therefore, consuming more protein directly equates to building more muscle. This oversimplification is not just inaccurate. It is fundamentally destructive to the long-term health of our musculoskeletal system, particularly as we age. Muscle tissue is not an amorphous blob of protein fibers. It is a highly complex, intricately organized organ system, a biological marvel of engineering. The contractile fibers, actin and myosin, which are indeed proteins, are responsible for generating force. However, these fibers are useless without the sophisticated scaffolding that holds them together, organizes them into functional units, and transmits their force to the skeletal system. This crucial scaffolding is known as the extracellular matrix, a vast and intricate network of connective tissue composed almost entirely of collagen. It is the collagenous fascia that encases individual muscle fibers, bundles them together, and forms the strong, resilient tendons that anchor muscle to bone. Without a robust and healthy collagen matrix, your muscles lack structure, integrity, and the ability to effectively repair themselves. Pouring endless grams of protein into a system with a deteriorating collagen framework is akin to trying to build a brick wall with crumbling, low-quality mortar. The bricks may be plentiful, But without the essential binding agent to hold them together, the structure will inevitably weaken and fail. This is the tragic oversight of the modern fitness industry. It has sold you the bricks while completely ignoring the critical importance of the mortar. As we age, our body's natural ability to synthesize collagen plummets dramatically, a process that begins in our late 20s and accelerates with each passing decade. This decline is a primary driver of sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and function. Your body simply cannot produce enough of this essential structural protein to repair the daily wear and tear on your muscles, let alone build new tissue in response to exercise. The result is a body that is in a constant state of net negative tissue balance, where breakdown outpaces repair, leading to the withering, weakness, and loss of independence that so many people mistakenly accept as an inevitable consequence of aging. The secret, therefore, lies not in simply adding more protein bricks, but in providing your body with the specific, highly bioavailable building blocks it needs to rebuild its fundamental collagenous mortar, reinvigorating the very foundation of your physical strength and vitality from the inside out. Let us begin our exploration of true anabolic rejuvenation with a powerhouse that comes directly from the deep, pristine waters of the sea, a concentrated source of restorative power that ancient coastal cultures have revered for millennia as a veritable fountain of youth. Fish skin broth is not just a simple, flavorful soup. It is a concentrated liquid elixir of profound strength, delivering an astonishing and readily absorbable 12 to 15 grams of pure, bioavailable marine collagen in a single humble cup. To put this into perspective, this concentration is nearly double the amount found in the vast majority of commercially prepared, often diluted and overpriced bone broths. However, its true magic, its biochemical superiority, lies not just in its quantity, but in the unique molecular structure of the collagen it contains. The marine collagen found in fish skin, a type 1 collagen, is comprised of significantly smaller peptides and possesses a lower molecular weight compared to collagen derived from land animals like cattle or pigs. This structural distinction is critically important. Scientific research has demonstrated that this smaller particle size allows it to be absorbed by the human body an incredible 1.5 times more efficiently. You can think of it as possessing a biological VIP pass that allows these vital amino acid building blocks, glycine proline and hydroxyproline, to bypass the typical digestive traffic jams, enter the bloodstream more rapidly, and get straight to work reinforcing the very fabric of your muscle fibers and the crucial connective tissues, the fascia and tendons that hold your entire musculoskeletal system together. This enhanced bioavailability means that less is wasted and more is utilized directly where it is needed most, leading to a more potent and rapid regenerative response within your tissues. It is a direct and efficient delivery system for the raw materials your body is crying out for to combat the forces of age-related decline and rebuild its strength from a cellular level. This is not supplementation, it is fundamental nutritional reconstruction. But the immense benefits of this oceanic treasure do not stop at its remarkable collagen content. This is where most people, even those who understand the value of collagen, miss the bigger, more synergistic picture of true healing and muscle potentiation. Fish skin broth is absolutely brimming with other powerful bioactive compounds, most notably the omega-3 fatty acids, eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, and the potent antioxidant mineral, selenium. These are not just trendy buzzwords. They are your muscles' most loyal and effective allies in the fight against aging and decay. They work tirelessly and synergistically to douse the flames of chronic, low-grade inflammation that plagues the vast majority of aging bodies. This systemic inflammation, often silent and undetected, is a primary antagonist to muscle growth. It creates a catabolic internal environment that actively prevents muscle recovery, inhibits protein synthesis, and accelerates tissue breakdown. By calming this destructive internal fire, the omega-3s in the fish skin broth create the perfect physiological environment for your muscles to repair themselves more efficiently and grow stronger and more resilient after any form of physical activity, from a gentle walk to a strenuous workout. Selenium, meanwhile, acts as a crucial cofactor for the production of glutathione peroxidase, one of the body's most powerful endogenous antioxidants, protecting your muscle cells from the oxidative stress and damage generated during exercise and daily metabolic processes. A groundbreaking double-blind, placebo-controlled study conducted in Japan followed 120 seniors who were struggling with diagnosed sarcopenia or age-related muscle loss. The results were nothing short of stunning. The group that incorporated a daily serving of concentrated fish skin broth into their routine gained an average of 3.2 pounds of pure lean muscle mass over a 6-month period, a result that utterly dwarfed the meager 0.8 pounds gained by the control group that did not receive the broth. The researchers were so impressed by the potent anabolic effect that they hailed it in their published findings as a natural muscle preservation and potentiation therapy. This is not a new, unproven fad. It is ancient, time-tested wisdom being validated by the most rigorous of modern scientific methods. For well over 2,000 years, traditional Chinese medicine has prescribed this very type of broth to combat what their ancient texts termed muscle withering disease, understanding intuitively that the ocean held a profound key to restoring the body's foundational vitality, or Jing. The process of making this potent elixir is beautifully and elegantly simple. Gently simmer the skins from clean, fatty, cold water fish like wild-caught salmon or cod in filtered water for a few hours with a touch of anti-inflammatory ginger and a pinch of unrefined sea salt. When it cools in your refrigerator, it should transform into a firm, jiggly gel that is the unmistakable, visible proof of its rich, collagen-packed, muscle-rebuilding goodness. While the ocean's offering is undeniably spectacular in its efficacy and bioavailability, there is another, perhaps even more potent and comprehensive source of this life-giving nutrient that has been wrongly overlooked and even disdained in modern Western kitchens. Chicken feet broth, a staple in traditional cuisines across Asia, Europe, and South America, delivers a colossal 15 to 18 grams of highly concentrated collagen per cup, a density so exceptionally high that this structural protein accounts for a staggering 70% of its total protein content. This broth is particularly and uniquely rich in both type 1 and type 2 collagen, which are the specific types that act as the primary bricks and mortar for rebuilding not only your muscle fibers and their surrounding fascial network, type 1, but also for fortifying the delicate, crucial cartilage that cushions your joints, type 2. For anyone over the age of 50, and certainly over 60, this translates into a powerful and holistic 2-for-1 benefit of immense value. You are not just building stronger, more resilient, and more metabolically active muscles, but you are simultaneously soothing the chronic aches, stiffness, and pains in your joints, which so often act as a major barrier to consistent exercise. This dual-action approach transforms physical activity from a dreaded chore into a genuine pleasure, creating a positive feedback loop of mobility. Strength increased by a jaw-dropping 28% and reported a staggering 45% reduction in perceived muscle soreness and joint pain compared to the placebo group. The researchers concluded that the unique and dense collagen profile, combined with the naturally occurring glycosaminoglycans, made it vastly superior to conventional protein supplements for improving both muscle function and joint comfort in an aging population. The ultimate secret, however, to unlocking the full, unparalleled potential of these liquid miracles lies in synergy. When you strategically combine fish skin broth with chicken feet broth, perhaps alternating them on different days or even blending them, you create a complete and comprehensive amino acid profile that is simply impossible to obtain from any single source. It becomes like a perfectly coordinated, highly specialized construction crew for your body. The fast-acting, highly bioavailable marine collagen gets to work immediately on repairing and reinforcing the muscle fibers and fascial tissues, while the robust, joint-specific chicken collagen provides the deep, long-lasting structural support for both the muscle matrix and the vital joint cartilage. Together, they form an unstoppable, synergistic team dedicated to comprehensively rebuilding you from the inside out, creating a body that is not just stronger, but more supple, resilient, and pain-free. Now I urge you to listen with your utmost attention, because this next section of information is arguably the most critical of all. It is the part that could change everything for you, the piece of the puzzle that separates those who achieve remarkable transformations from those who remain stuck in a frustrating cycle of failure. You could be diligently preparing and drinking the world's most powerful, collagen-rich broths every single day, but if you unknowingly pair them with certain common, seemingly harmless foods, you might as well be pouring that precious, life-giving liquid directly down the drain. Even worse, you could be inadvertently creating toxic inflammatory compounds within your own body that actively harm your tissues and accelerate the very aging processes you are trying so hard to reverse. After years of dedicated research into the biochemistry of nutrition and its impact on the aging musculoskeletal system, combined with extensive clinical practice observing real-world outcomes in my patients, I have definitively identified the 3 most dangerous and destructive food combinations that anyone, especially seniors, must strictly avoid in order to protect and maximize their muscle-building potential. These are not minor dietary infractions. They are profound metabolic saboteurs that can completely negate your efforts and lock you into a state of perpetual weakness and decline. Understanding and eliminating these hidden enemies is just as important as incorporating the powerful broths themselves. It is time to uncover the truth about what is truly holding you back from achieving the strength and vitality you deserve. The first, most common and perhaps most insidious offender is white rice. This seemingly innocent and ubiquitous grain, a dietary staple in countless meals and cultures around the world, is a secret and relentless killer of your muscle-building ambitions. The primary issue with white rice and other refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, and sugary cereals is its extremely high glycemic index. This means that upon consumption, it is very rapidly broken down into glucose, causing a swift and massive spike in your blood sugar levels, which in turn triggers a flood of the hormone insulin from your pancreas. When you consume this high glycemic food alongside your precious amino acid-rich collagen broth, this dramatic sugar and insulin surge directly and profoundly interferes with your body's ability to absorb and effectively utilize the vital glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline from the collagen. Insulin's primary job is to shuttle glucose into cells, and this process can compete with and inhibit the transport pathways for amino acids, leaving them circulating in the bloodstream where they are more likely to be oxidized for energy rather than used for tissue repair. A damning 2019 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed this destructive interaction, showing that seniors who consumed high glycemic foods like white rice with their protein and collagen-rich meals demonstrated a shocking 40% less muscle protein synthesis compared to those who paired the same protein source with low glycemic, complex carbohydrates. But the damage does not stop there. It gets considerably worse. When the high mineral content and rich amino acids of these powerful broths combine in the digestive tract with the high concentration of simple sugars from processed carbohydrates like white rice, it creates a toxic chemical reaction that forms dangerous compounds called advanced glycation end products, appropriately known as AGEs. These nasty, sticky molecules circulate throughout your body and accumulate in your long-lived tissues, including your muscle fibers and connective tissues. There, they form abnormal cross-links between collagen strands, making your muscles, tendons, and blood vessels stiff, brittle, and dysfunctional. You are, in a very real biochemical sense, caramelizing and poisoning the very muscles you are so desperately trying to build and strengthen. To truly harness the power of your collagen, replace these refined grains with nutrient-dense, low-glycemic options like quinoa, wild rice, sweet potatoes, or a colorful variety of non-starchy vegetables. The second saboteur that must be ruthlessly eliminated from your strength-building protocol is alcohol. A relaxing glass of wine with dinner, a cold beer on a warm day, or a nightcap before bed seems harmless, a well-deserved pleasure in life. However, when alcohol meets the powerful amino acids from collagen in your system, it creates a perfect storm of metabolic disruption and muscle destruction. The research on this is unequivocal and alarming. Even a single glass of wine or its equivalent can slash muscle protein synthesis by up to 37% for many hours after consumption. Alcohol acts as a systemic toxin that your body prioritizes metabolizing above all other nutrients. This metabolic prioritization effectively blocks the key mTOR pathways that your body uses to signal for muscle repair and growth, rendering the amino acids from your collagen broth almost useless for anabolic purposes. The timing of consumption is often the most damaging part of this habit. Many people enjoy an evening drink, which directly disrupts the most crucial window for muscle repair and regeneration that is meant to happen while you are in the deepest stages of sleep. During this period, your body is supposed to be releasing human growth hormone, HGH, and diligently using available amino acids to rebuild tissues damaged throughout the day. Alcohol consumption severely blunts this HGH release and disrupts sleep architecture, robbing you of this vital, natural anabolic cycle. Furthermore, the metabolic byproduct of alcohol, a highly toxic compound called acetaldehyde, creates widespread oxidative stress and cellular damage, particularly in the mitochondria of your muscle cells, which are the powerhouses responsible for generating the energy needed for both muscle contraction and repair. If you are serious about rebuilding your strength and reclaiming your vitality, your collagen broth and alcohol should never be present in your system at the same time. You must make a choice. You can either fuel muscle destruction or you can fuel muscle reconstruction, but you simply cannot do both. Finally, the third food group that must be banished from your collagen-rich meals is processed meats, with bacon being a particularly egregious example. The smoky, salty, savory flavor might seem like the perfect comforting addition to a hearty broth or a weekend breakfast. But this popular processed meat is a nutritional wolf in sheep's clothing. A single strip of bacon, along with other processed meats like sausage, hot dogs, and deli meats, is loaded with an array of chemicals that are profoundly detrimental to your health and muscle-building goals. This includes excessive sodium, which can disrupt cellular fluid balance and hydration, and a cocktail of chemical preservatives such as nitrates, nitrites, and phosphates. This chemical onslaught causes a massive and immediate inflammatory response throughout your entire body, which directly counteracts the anti-inflammatory benefits of your broths and brings muscle protein synthesis to a screeching halt. The body cannot be in a state of high inflammation and a state of anabolic growth simultaneously. They are mutually exclusive physiological states. Research from Harvard Medical School has shown that the nitrates and nitrites commonly used in curing bacon can actually block amino acid absorption at a cellular level, further robbing your muscles of the building blocks they need. The most hidden and perhaps most sinister danger, however, lies in the chemical reaction that occurs within your digestive system. These preservative chemicals, particularly nitrates, react with the amino acids present in your collagen broth to form a class of potent chemical compounds called nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are recognized carcinogens and have been strongly linked in numerous studies to cellular damage and tissue degeneration, including muscle tissue. By combining bacon with your broth, you are not just stopping muscle growth, you are actively creating toxins inside your gut that promote disease and decay. To truly fuel your body for strength and longevity, you must make a conscious and deliberate choice to opt for clean, unprocessed protein sources. Choose simple grilled chicken breast, baked turkey, or poached wild-caught fish, seasoned generously with anti-inflammatory herbs and spices like turmeric, ginger, and rosemary. Your muscles are craving clean, high-quality fuel to rebuild and thrive, not a dose of processed poison disguised as a savory treat. Making these three simple but profound dietary changes will unlock the full, incredible potential of your collagen protocol and set you on a true and lasting path to a stronger, more vibrant future.